I want to say this to you straight up. Whether you are a heterosexual male or a heterosexual female, the agony that the conservative character type lives with, it's sexy. It's attractive. It's got a kind of magnetism to it. You know, when you meet someone who really is that fire and brimstone character, you know, and again, even the prophets in the Old Testament, toward the end of the Old Testament, really have that character. This is not something you only find in Christianity or only find in Islam. When you meet someone who is living to die, someone who's really fucking down to die for their principles, no matter how fucking insane or stupid their principles are, you meet someone who says, to me, all flesh is grass. To me, this world ain't shit. You know, people who really fucking have discarded this planet as a veil of tears. It's sexy. It's charismatic. It's powerful. I'll say this very simply. It's not depressing or depressive, right? It's got a very kind of world-conquering vibe. It actually, in practice, it's very sexy. It's very charismatic. It's very appealing to people. I don't know how gay people and lesbian people feel about it, to be honest with you. That's why I said heterosexual. You know, I've met conservative religious women, just the way they live with that agony and that sense of the ethical seriousness of their own life in contrast to the triviality of the things of this world, right? It's very sexy. It's very appealing. Let's give you some real world contrast. Over here is a bitch who cares about shoes. You want to talk to me about designer shoes, bitch? Over here is a bitch who cares about a gold necklace. You want to talk to me about a gold necklace, bitch? Over here is a bitch who is a member of an apocalyptic death cult. It's incredibly fucked up. It's incredibly evil. But one of the reasons why it's been so popular and so common on our whole fucking planet for more than 2,000 years, right, is that it seems profound. It seems powerful. It seems sexy. It seems to give this person some kind of leadership qualities that a relatively shallow and vain person who is enjoying their life doesn't have. Out of these two women, I mean, they're caricatures. You know, is it really so bad that this woman wants to own designer shoes? Is it really so bad that she wants to own a gold necklace? Is it really so bad that she wants to enjoy this life? And a large part of her enjoyment of this life and what this world has to offer is vanity, vanities. You know, you got to kind of challenge your own bias or perspective here. And on the other hand, this other woman, you know, there's this sort of veneer of profundity. There's the veneer of gravitas and seriousness about her ideology. But what does she actually believe? She believes that, you know, like the most important thing in the world is to cut off part of the penis of her own child to make a covenant with this magical God, because this God made a deal with Abraham that you cut off part of your penis. It's barbaric. It's stupid. It's despicable. It's absolutely worse than caring about designer shoes or gold necklace. If you are a heterosexual woman, do you really respond positively to a heterosexual man who is vain and petty and enjoying the petty things of this world, as opposed to that seeming profundity of that monotheistic apocalyptic worldview? The most powerful message, right? The atom bomb of the monotheistic ideological arsenal is the world is going to end. Judgment Day is coming. You know, that's really the linchpin of their ideology. It matters more than heaven or hell. It matters more than the Sermon on the Mount. You know, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Yeah. You it puts the timeline of your life in perspective. It puts the meaning of life for the whole history of the world in perspective. Judgment Day is coming. And therefore, you really give a fuck about these designer shoes? Do you really give a fuck about this gold necklace? Right? That's the vibe. I'm going to say this about 10 times in this fucking video. All right? Every monotheistic religion is an apocalyptic death cult. Some of you watching this video are 17 years old, and it's hard for you to accept that. And some of you watching this video are 60 years old, and it's still hard for you to accept that. You want to believe that what the church is about is baking brownies and brotherhood and helping poor people in wheelchairs. I get it. That is what you want to believe. The quintessence of conservatism is a yearning for the world to end. What it means to be a conservative, whether you are a conservative Christian, a conservative Muslim, a conservative Jew, is that you wake up every fucking day and think this world has gone wrong. Whether you think that that's every day since Adam and Eve bit into that fucking apple, or whether you think of the timeline of the world in terms of, some other magical event like the death of Jesus Christ, the life and death of the Prophet Muhammad, there's some point after which you think humanity is in a fallen state. This world is so evil that you can't wait for it to end. Looking forward positively to the return of the Messiah, or if you're Jewish, the first appearance of the Messiah. Looking forward positively to Ragnarok, Judgment Day, the apocalypse, whatever the fuck you want to say. At its heart, that's what conservatism is. Conservatives are people who want to see the world burn. They're people who embrace the judgment of God, that this world is not good enough. It can never be good enough. You can never be good enough, because they feel human nature is bad. It's loathsome, it's evil, and it's wrong. They're disgusted with their own bodies. They're disgusted with their own desires. It's not just homosexuality they're disgusted by. They're disgusted by heterosexuality. It's not just war they're disgusted by. It's peace they're disgusted by. They're disgusted by vanity. And you can already see this in the prophets of the Old Testament. Once you start to look around with this mentality, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. They despise life. That is what it is to be a conservative. It is an apocalyptic death cult. Now, obviously, I can tell you that this is insane. In a sense, it's insane, but in a sense, it's perfectly rational. That is the heart, the beating heart of conservatism.